Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to day 16 of our reverse Advent food drive called Food for Thought and Food for the Hungry. Please consider joining with us. It's real easy. Visit our webpage, FP Turlock, and follow the instructions. Now, today we're talking about pasta. You know, I like to ask people the question, often do, if you could have just one type of cuisine the rest of your life, what would that be? Italian food is almost always near the top one or two. Really, pasta and pizza? Yes, we cannot live on bread alone. We need some sauce, some fresh basil, and some fresh mozzarella. Now, have you ever tasted some Italian dish that made you think of God? I Googled the words pasta and devotion, and I found a fun example of a girl at a youth camp who said she found God in her spaghetti. I'd like to share it with you today. It was posted by Rebecca Freed. Rebecca wrote, "For 6 summers of my life, I worked at a Christian summer camp. As many of you likely do in your youth groups, each week we would end our nights sharing our highs and lows of the day we had with all the members of our cabin. We would often ask the kids to share where they saw God that day. One week I had a group of particularly rowdy girls in my cabin, and they decided they didn't want to just report where they saw God, but where they heard Him or felt Him. It was actually very neat. I think my favorite response, though, was when a girl in all seriousness proclaimed, 'I tasted God in my spaghetti.' After we composed ourselves from laughing so hard we cried, I recalled verse 8 from Psalm 34. 'Taste and see that the Lord is good, and blessed is the person who takes refuge in Him.' So much of the world around us tries to point to a God who could never be good. For example, Rebecca writes, how many of you have ever asked or heard someone else ask, how could a loving God ever let people suffer the way they do? Why do bad things happen? All these questions center around the doubt that maybe, just maybe, God isn't good. God's response? Taste. See, I am good. Like a mom who encourages us to try at least one bite of food we're skeptical of, God just asks us to simply try it out, do a quick taste test, because when we do, God knows, we'll see His goodness in ways we can't begin to imagine. Taste and see, God is good. Thank you, Rebecca, for sharing those thoughts with us. And hey, if you can find God in your spaghetti, I think I can find God in a carne asada street taco a little bit later today. I will taste and see. You have a wonderful day. Tomorrow, canned tomatoes. That might just go with pasta. Blessings.